All right. So here we are with Luis Ramos. He's actually planning to be a video interviewer with IO Media Channel. And so I'm just here to introduce him. And please tell us about yourself.
Absolutely. Well, first of all, thank you very much for having me over. I really appreciate it. Essentially myself, I am 24 years old. I'm originally from Mexico City. I've been in the Bay Area for over 2 years now, and in the US for over 5 years now. I initially came here to play football. That's how I landed into the US.
With the 49ers?
No. So I came to the US initially to play football.
Oh, okay.
And not necessarily football, but actually American football.
Oh,
So,
okay.
Yeah, I played in college for 4 years in St. Louis, Missouri. I was actually the first Mexican-born football player in the program history. You know, St. Louis is not as diverse as the Bay Area here in California.
Oh, so that was unusual.
Yeah, it was kind of like unusual. Mexicans don't usually play football, but for me, it's a sport that has been super passionate for me. So I did a sports management major, and I started working with multiple sports organizations.
Mm-hmm.
I work with the largest baseball team in St. Louis, which is the Cardinals. It's a big baseball team. And then I came here to the Bay Area to work with the San Francisco Giants.
Yes.
Yeah, so I worked with them for over a year and a half at the most, and we were doing the operations of maintenance and security for the stadium. So it was super upbeat type of work, a lot of stress, a lot of requirements. And so after that, I was like, hey, I just want to focus on myself, on my communication skills. So I dived into sales. And so it has helped tremendously. It helped tremendously to sharpen how deliberate I want to be in conversations and how to listen. Active listening is super important, you know. I believe that's a transferable skill to interviewing whoever you're talking, right? Because you have to build on every question that you actually ask to actually achieve some insight in your points. So I think listening is super important, and it's kind of counterintuitive, right?
Yes.
You think interviewing, it's all about speaking. But
No, you have to be a good listener, for sure.
Yeah, I would argue that it's
Because sometimes
listening.
it transitions from the question and the answer, and then it triggers the next question.
Absolutely. So following up on each question, building up, it actually allows you to build a broader perspective and get deeper into whatever you want to get into.
Okay, earlier we were talking about his past, and he has some experience in debates. So could you tell us about that?
Yeah, absolutely. So as I was telling her, I've always been into public speaking since like middle school, initially elementary school. Furthermore, into middle school, I was part of our debate team for my school. I performed pretty well there, and I actually was part of a trip that was into New York. So it was around 2017 during my sophomore year when we traveled to New York to participate in the Model United Nations in the United Nations headquarters. So basically, for those of you that doesn't know what a Model United Nations is, essentially is when you and a partner of you or yourself are given a delegation of a country that is not your actual country. Therefore, you will be representing, per se, China. And you need to be part of a panel with 25 other nations in it, and you have to argue on behalf of China, foreign policies, global warming. You need to international monetary funds, like all types of policies that are part of that country. And whoever has the strongest standpoint and makes the best arguments throughout the panel and actually takes control of the conversation is the panel or the delegation that actually receives recognition. And so me and my partner, we were the only two members of approximately 40 people group of our school that actually receive honorable mention. So we got recognized for outstanding performance at the headquarters of more United Nations and of the United Nations, and it was an unforgettable experience.
Yeah, for sure. Which country was it held in? Switzerland?
No, it was in New York. It was in New
Oh,
York.
New York.
UN headquarters in New
wow.
York. Yeah.
That's impressive.
Thank you.
Really impressive. Okay, now you also model, right? Could you talk about some of your modeling experiences?
Yeah, absolutely. So initially, I started doing a modeling workshop. So my idea with this was to work on my body language, or work on my posture, and I worked with this outstanding person called Charleston Pierce. He's an ex-model, quite big in the 90s. He was a pretty big model, and he kind of like mentored me, and we actually started working through different. My confidence in front of the camera and myself being comfortable with being the main point of attention per se, and so that took me to modeling for Macy's. I actually modeled in the San Francisco fashion show, and I've participated for some smaller like clothing brands that are upcoming and diverse photo shoots. So that's kind of like what my experience is on it. I certainly recommend anyone to actually get into at least understanding how to pose in front of a camera, just not because of the pose of a mere photo, but it's your body language and it's the way that you portray yourself. So it's a great way of becoming comfortable in your own skin. There's all types of models. Contrary to the general Prada or Dolce & Gabbana model that you see in whatever magazine, models have to be of all ages, of all sizes, of all complexions, all ethnicities. So anyone could actually be a model. You just have to be confident enough to actually and feel comfortable in your own skin. So modeling is essentially acting, which is essentially selling.
Yeah.
So it's
selling
all connected.
the brand that you're representing.
Right, so it's all connected, and I'm super grateful for having that experience under my belt.
Okay. Well, could you just say something? What do you think you'll get out of being a video interviewer for IO Media Channel?
Yeah, absolutely. I think I do have a talent for like speaking and getting my point across, communicating. So I really hope that through my interviews we actually can get to know business owners, get to know nonprofit organizations, and shed light into stories that are ongoing into our community. You know, at the end of the day, any media outlet or mode of mass communication should be used to throw light and shed light into important and uplifting stories. So if we can be part of that through IO Media, that will be a huge win for me. Besides, it will give me great experience being in front of the camera, and also it's another way of showing how versatile I am with my talents, whether it's acting, modeling, doing interviews, communicating. So I'm all for it.
Yeah, so thank you so much, Luis. I
Absolutely.
hope that we will do some great interviews together.
For sure.
And that you'll be known in the community in this area.
Oh,
Thank you.
absolutely. Super grateful.